Well, let's go back to the NDC headquarters because there's a countdown, as you know, to close of nominations for persons interested in contesting for the flag bearer position of the party. We already know that some supporters for Stephen Atubiga have been there to pick up a form for him. Joshua Alabi has had his people pick up a form for him. John Mahama as well. Well, let's get some more updates. Latif Idrisu is stationed at the party's headquarters. Hello, Latif.
So, Gifty.
What's the latest?
Yeah, so Gifty, we have just about a little over 30 minutes to go when the time for picking of nomination closes. And like I mentioned earlier in the day when you came, so far we've had 4 candidates who have had their nomination forms picked on their behalf by various supporters who have contributed to pick up the nomination form for them. First, we have the former president, John Dramani Mahama, on the list, followed by Professor Joshua Alabi. And then we had the Onion Sellers Association coming in to pick for Stephen Atubiga, followed by some supporters of Sly Mensah who also came in to pick for their preferred candidates. So we have 4 picked up so far. And like I mentioned, we have little over 30 minutes to go. We are still hanging around to see if we will have the followers or the other candidates coming in person to pay 20,000 Ghana cedis to pick up the nomination forms so far, Gifty.
So the latest is that Sylvester Mensah has had a form picked up for him, so that makes the number 4 so far.
4, exactly, Gifty.
Okay. Well, you're still there. Before we wrap up the show, I'm certainly sure we'll have to come back to you to find out if the figures have changed from 4 to whichever.
And as you also know earlier that we still have the NEC meeting going on. When I spoke with the followers of Sly, they mentioned that they do not expect any other issue on the agenda at the NEC meeting. What they want is for the NEC to come up with a revised fee. I mean, the filing fee I'm talking about. So they are looking at the NEC coming up with a revised fee, not the 400,000 that has already been put out there. They expect that NEC will listen to the cry of their preferred candidates and also what Ghanaians have largely been talking about on social media, that it is on the high and that they want a reduction. So, yes, that is the expectation for some of the followers of the various candidates.
Okay.
We are still hanging around to see if that will even come up at the end of the next meeting.
And quite apart from the expectation of the followers of these candidates, do we know if there's going to be any kind of extension after 5 p.m. today?
Largely, Gifted, that will depend on what NEC comes up with. As it stands, we know that at 5 p.m. it's closed. Once you don't have your form, you are out of the race. So if NEC comes out and say, okay, we've listened and now we are going to extend the period to make room for those who are unable to pick, and then that changes. Otherwise, at 5 p.m., those that are going are John Dramani Mahama, former president, Joshua Alabi, professor, Stephen Atubiga, and then Sly Mensah for now. If NEC changes the decision, then that changes as well, Gifty.
We'll see how it goes. We'll come back to you, Latif. Latif Idrisu there, standing by at the NDC's headquarters for us, bringing us updates on persons who have picked up the form so far. Stephen Atubiga, John Dramani Mahama, Professor Joshua Alabi, and Sylvester Mensah. 4 so far. Just a few minutes on the top of the hour. You're still watching The Pulse with me, Gifty and Doc here. We'll take